Welcome back, and joining us is a man who needs no introduction when it comes to manliness, Rex Mossop. Welcome, Rex.
Play on words, not bad, yes.
Now, 25 years it took Manly to win the first premiership, but what a great day.
It was a good day, a memorable day in the district. They had everything was dressed up, all the streets were dressed up, and the bridge was dressed up, the spit bridge, and everyone was very clean. They had 51, 57, 59, 68 and 70.
You played in one or two of them?
I played in two, 57, 59, got well and truly spanked by St George in each game. I can't remember the scores, 20-0 in one of them and 32 to something or other. Right. And I got sent off in the second one in 59 with Harry Bath. You know, I played up a bit.
What are your memories of 72 then?
72, well, mainly the strength of the Manly side. We all thought it was a very good side. You like me to run through the full team for you? Okay. I think Graham Eddie was the fullback, Irvine on one wing, Brannigan in the centres, with Fulton. What a pair of centres they turned out to be. Brown, Martin, Ward, Ward was halfback. Mal Riley, he's probably the most important man in the team. He played devastating football that day. Randall, who could tackle like a tackling machine. Thompson, John O'Neill, the greatest man that ever came out of the South Sydney side, as far as Manly's concerned, was there. And Freddie Jones and Big Billy Hamilton. So it was a great side.
Rex, you mentioned the impact of Malcolm Riley and so on. A couple of Englishmen during the 70s for Manly there. Were you a fan of them coming out from England and playing?
I was a fan because it was a different era in those days. I mean, you could get away with it. Let's call a spade a spade.
They were skillful players as well.
They were skillful, but they knew how to deal out the dirt. Oh, geez, Malcolm Riley was devastating. He belted Big Artie beats him day up at Parramatta Oval, Cullinan Oval, and I hardly went down, and that was the end of it. Had to be carted off or something anyway to be looked after. They were devastating players. John O'Neill came from the same sort of group. He was the same sort of era. They couldn't play in today's football, either of them, but they were magnificent in their own way.
Well, let's look at 73 now. Me and play Cronulla. They tell me this game was an absolute bloodbath.
This was the war to end all wars, I think. I think the Rugby League had a little bit of a chat after this game and said, we've got to do something about it. We can't expose our game to this sort of violence. The first 20 minutes, frankly, the hair was standing up on the back of my neck, as I called it. I mean, I could feel the adrenaline flying through my hands. I couldn't believe some of the things that referee Page let players from both sides get away with. It was shocking. There were knees, there were elbows, there were forearms. Every tackle was a high tackle. Nobody was sent off. He kept the 13 players on for both sides for the full match. The guiding light on that one, the three players that most impressed, John O'Neill, Mal Reilly again, and Bozo Fulton. Bozo scored a couple of tries in that match. Yeah. Scored in the 29th minute, beautiful try, and in about the 59th minute scored a beautiful one of those little ones when he goes a little in and away and skirts around and nobody can catch him.
And what about for Cronulla? They had a couple of Englishmen, Cliff Watson and Tommy Bishop. Yeah,
well, those two guys were handing out their version of the Larry Dooley to our boys. Yes, Cliff Watson was no better than he should have been, I can promise you that. It was a very dirty game, very, very dirty game, but really a most exciting game to watch.
Incredible when you think back to grand finals and moments during them. Another player that comes to mind for me from that game, Burke, came as a replacement. You have your one moment of glory at times, and
that was
nice to come in a grand final, even though Burke did go on and play a lot of first grade, of course.
Yeah, well, he scored a try when he came on, and he looked very good. Actually, the game was always in the balance. It was a 10-5 result to Manly, but it was never going to be a foregone conclusion. They fought it out right till the whistle went, and that's the way, we used to see a lot of football that way, low scoring and that sort of thing.
Well, thanks for coming in tonight, Rex. And it looks like Manly going to have some years ahead, some great kids coming through, and plenty of ability and talent there on show in the next couple of years.
I might have make a prediction from the oldest seagull of them all. I'd say within 3 years, Manly will win a premiership. This current crop of Colts that they've got going around.
I'm with you, Rex. Go the Eagles.
Yeah, good luck to them. So let's look back at the action from 20 years ago, a match that has been called the toughest grand final of them all, a reminder of just how ferocious rugby league was before the judiciary took a strong hand.
The whistle blown by referee Keith Page, a long kick by Archer.